Auburn Blitz is now on the air, your daily look into what's happening in Auburn athletics. With your host, Andy Graham, Brett Pritchard, Randy Lee, War Eagle.
What's up, everybody? Welcome into the Auburn Blitz here on a Friday, brought to you by Russell Do It Center and Building Supply Stores, J.A. Smith Construction and Excavation, and Sensa Green. Glad that you joined us here on this Friday. And again, we want to encourage everybody to tune us in the mornings as we have our podcast rolling every morning at around 8 o'clock. A lot of you are jumping in, finding us. Our numbers increasing there on YouTube, so we want to continue to promote that. Make sure you go out there and subscribe to our YouTube channel if you have not done that. Go out there and find it, Auburn Blitz. It's real simple, and you'll get an alert every time we're on the air, whether it be the podcast or this show. So again, we appreciate so much all of you out there doing that. And again, here past Christmas, our first time being on the show since then, so we hope everybody had a great Christmas out there and heading into a great 2025 year. We're looking forward to 2025. That's all we can do. You can't look back. No need to look in the rearview mirror because that's all in the past. So thank goodness some of that stuff's in the past, especially us Auburn fans as far as football is concerned. So, but the thing that we are looking forward to in the future is this Auburn basketball team. So we're going to talk about Auburn basketball. We'll have Jason Caldwell on with us. Hopefully, if they're done with the Bruce Pearl interview here that's going on right now. I talked to Jason earlier this morning, and if they get out in time, he'll definitely join us at 12:36. Have Wade Bennett will join us, part of our crew, at 12:12. So we got a lot to discuss: rosters, portal, all kind of stuff. You and I talk all week, so it's nothing new.
No, nothing new. I think one of the biggest storylines going in today is Miami's coach really, I guess, having a feel of it is the best way to describe his comments yesterday, and stepping away from the sport. What a great run that he had, not only last year, but really for the last 5 years or so.
Right.
Disappointed us with a really good Auburn team with the way that he defended us that night, and knocks us out when we had one of our better teams all time heading into that tournament. So, you know, difficult to see so many coaches struggling with the NIL setup that we are currently living in. But until a leader steps up and makes some decisions, and the Power Four gets some kind of decision made on exactly how they want this thing to play out. And it sounds like the government too, Brett. It's not only the Power Four, but the government's going to have to step up and make some decisions on how to help the NCAA out. I think we're going to make this same conversation year in and year out this time of year.
Well, what needs to be determined is what a governing body, whether it be the NCAA or whoever, can and can't do. If you're going to cut their legs out from under them every time they rule on something, then you, in essence, have nothing that can govern. So, again, if every time somebody broke a law out here, they sued the government and they went to the courts, and the court sided with the person breaking the law, there'd be no laws. So, I mean, I don't really know how else to say it other than that. I really don't know how to be more simplistic for people to understand. Diego Pavia just sued the NCAA to get more time to play Division I football because he felt like he deserved to, because he didn't think his junior college years should have counted against his eligibility. Well, I mean, you know, what we have done in this country is we change things as we move forward. I mean, you look back at a lot of great players that played JUCO ball that said, look, okay, I understand. If I go to JUCO, I only have this many years to play. You know, then COVID year came, and we just decided we'll make up rules and laws just as we go. And if we don't like something, we'll just, you know, we'll holler and scream loud enough until somebody just backs down and lets us do it. I don't agree with the Diego Pavia ruling. I don't think a lot of coaches out there do. Again, there's flashes in the pan where your team will benefit from it. Mm-hmm. But overall, that's breaking the system. I mean, you're flooding the NCAA and intercollegiate athletics with a bunch of older people. I hate to say it that way, but that's what you're doing. And you're giving this basically what feels like unlimited eligibility. It's killing high school players. I mean, we talk to coaches all the time. I go all over the state and I talk to them. They say, man, it's tough on our kids to come out and try to play college football or baseball or whatever now when you got this backlog of people in the system. I don't know when it's going to clean out, especially when you start getting overrules by court systems to allow more and more people to keep playing.
Well, I ask y'all this because we live in a state where JUCO football is non-existent. Will that bring JUCO football into the state of Alabama based off of the Division I colleges needing it here? Because, Brett, it is an outlet that we've never really talked about here. Yes, we've had a lot of kids, including locally, that have gone the JUCO route and have come back to some of our bigger schools here in the state. But if you don't have that opportunity, because am I right, over in the state of Mississippi, you can only have X amount of kids from out of state on each squad?
I don't know that.
I think there's some JUCO ruling out there where you can't – because the want is to give your local in-state kids an opportunity to play ball, and a lot of that tax dollars that's going towards that are going to stay in-state. I'm guessing that's the reason you're able to sell it, because you know it's a money loser. I mean,
it's the hemorrhages money. To me, that's the origination of why there's no football at the JUCO level in the state of Alabama is basically Bear Bryant in the state legislature. He said, look, don't want it here. I don't want JUCO football in the state, and it had been brought up years ago, and they squashed it, and it really had never been brought up since. It raises up from time to time, but look, JUCO sports lose money. A lot of people don't charge admission. A lot of these schools don't charge admission. I'm speaking from experience, and you got to really want to look at sports in a promotion and marketing way, which it does help market your school. But are you willing to encumber, a lot of expenses, dorms, scholarships, equipment, facilities, all that kind of stuff that goes with it, and not really anticipate any type of income gain from that when you're trying to operate an institution? So with the high cost of everything right now, I would not anticipate Alabama taking on JUCO football. I'm just saying. Now, it depends on who the chancellor is at the time, and you and I are really good friends with Dean Myrick, and be a great guest to have on our program to talk to Dean about it. Dean's the commissioner for ACC here in the state of Alabama, and they are expanding in some areas. There's some sports expanding in this state. They just recently added flag football, but you're not talking about a lot of cost there. There's not a lot of cost that goes into playing flag football. You add regular football in with locker rooms and facilities and equipment upkeep and the amount of scholarships to keep that many players on, and then you got a coaching staff you got to employ. There's just a lot of money.
How do the other states do it? How does Mississippi do it if we can't?
I don't know that it's a matter if they can't or we can't. It's a matter if you want to or not.
Well, I think that it depends on who you ask that question to. There's a lot of people that would want to if the funding's there to do it.
I was going to say, the caveat there is the funding.
So I think the same question holds true to any other state, though. What would make the state of Mississippi decide to want to, whereas the state of Alabama decides to not want to? I think that's where – I don't have a good answer for that. I know that you've got better answers for that than most would because you've worked in that system. But it is odd that the state of Mississippi has it and we don't.
I'd like to pull the numbers and see. I don't think they make any money. If anything, they probably lose money.
They're losing money. I mean, how many?
Here's the difference, though. They do have casinos. And they pump a lot of money into that. So
yeah, we can't get. Well,
there's a supplemental income, that comes in all these states that have these other things that we don't have. I mean, we can go down this rabbit hole all we want, but at the end of the day, I know from experience, I've watched colleges cut athletic programs out that don't cost a lot of money because they don't make anything and they don't feel like it brings anything to the table. Look, I'm not saying I'm against it or for it. I'm just saying that I think you're talking about bringing on the most expensive sport to house at any college.
No, there's a reason that we haven't done it up to this point. I'm not questioning that. I'm just saying that it has to be that answer from a funding standpoint. And did Mississippi have it before the lottery in Mississippi?
I have no – I think they did. I think they've had it for a long time.
Yeah.
Right. So it's probably preference. And there's got to be some rhyme or reason to why they want to do it. I look at it this way. Now, in the current state, how many people are going to donate money to that school for that or for that college to support a JUCO football team? Because I'm telling you, I'm speaking from experience, trying to start an alumni association at a JUCO, it don't work out real well a lot of times. Because when that person moves on to another college, most of the time they consider that four-year institution where they're an alumni. Mm-hmm. And so
that
doesn't mean anything. That doesn't mean people aren't proud of going to community college. I went to one. Okay, I went to CAC, and proud of my 2 years there. Went to Auburn, graduated. I claim both. And so, but if I'm giving to Auburn, do I have enough left over to give to CAC? Or if I'm giving to CAC, am I giving to Auburn? Do I split? That's what you have to determine.
But if
there's only so much to go around, everybody's begging for money already.
But if the struggle is to get high school kids in this state enough football opportunities out there for what we want.
Yeah.
Then if other states are doing that, like Mississippi and other bordering states that we're competing with, as the players on Auburn and Alabama's team get older and older, and you are the one going around this state hearing the complaints from these high school coaches that there's not as many opportunities as there once was. I'm just trying to come up with an answer on how you would fix that.
I don't know.
And everything that you're bringing up for why you wouldn't do it in the state of Alabama outside of that lottery funding would be the exact reasons you wouldn't do it over in the state of Mississippi, yet they seem to be able to do it.
Yeah, we need to dive into the numbers over there and see, well, and if they're losing a bunch of money, why are they doing it? I mean, I hate to be that way. I mean, everything's so cut and dried of making a business decision. If they're losing a bunch of money, why would they keep doing it other than just wanting to help, which I'm grateful for that. I'm glad that these kids have an opportunity to go to Mississippi, but there's not a lot of JUCO football in the country. First of all, I mean, there's just a lot of states that stay away from it for whatever reason. All right, up against the break. Stay tuned. More to come.
Hi, this is Brian Bice with Bice Motors. With our all-star lineup of Dodge trucks, Jeep, SUVs, and Chrysler cars, we offer the area team dedicated to making your next vehicle purchase a positive experience. Our sales team offers competitive pricing, and we back up all sales with a service department second to none. Bice Motors also offers the area's best selection of pre-owned vehicles. Visit Bice Motors at 2133 Cherokee Road in Alexander City.
Guaranteed lowest price. Buy it at Bice Motors.
Looking to transform your outdoor space? Look no further than Bama Sheds. As a family-owned and operated business, we understand your needs. That's why we offer no credit check, rent-to-own options. Enjoy free delivery and setup within 35 miles of our 4 convenient locations. Whether you need a shed, pole barn, garage, or carport, we've got you covered. Visit our website at bamasheds.com or call 256-268-8484. Bama Sheds, where quality meets affordability and your outdoor dreams become reality.
Presley Appliance and Furniture, located on Cherokee Road in Alexander City, is locally owned and operated with over 35 years of experience in the appliance and furniture business. Specializing in Amana, Whirlpool, KitchenAid, and Ashley Furniture, Presley Appliance services what they sell and will make sure you receive top-notch customer service. Call them today at 256-329-9762 or drop by to see them on Cherokee Road in Alexander City. Presley Appliance and Furniture, where they service what they sell.
This is Kathy Holmes with Pepper Tree Steaks and Wine. Jeff Verner and I opened in East Montgomery 25 years ago and have become the premier butcher shop, wine retailer, and caterer in the River region. We are excited to invite you to our newest location at 2459 East Glen Avenue in Auburn, Opelika. We want to become your one-stop shop for the freshest cuts of meat in town, grab-and-go casseroles, gift items, and the best wine selection in the area. Think of us when catering your next event. Check us out online at steaksandwine.com for daily lunch specials and details on upcoming wine tastings and fun events.
There's only one option for top-of-the-line aftermarket upgrades on your vehicle, and that's Frontline Outfitters. We offer quality parts, lift kits, custom wheels and tires, bed covers, step bars, and toolboxes that are installed by trained and skilled professionals, to custom powder coating with hundreds of colors and finishes, to the highest quality film for window tinting using state-of-the-art film cutting technology. Call Frontline Outfitters at 256-409-8100. Don't be in the back of the line. Put your vehicle at the front with Frontline Outfitters.
Looking for the perfect spot to unwind? Welcome to Bunkers. Our friendly staff and vibrant atmosphere make Bunkers the ultimate hangout space for all ages. With 6 state-of-the-art golf simulator stations, you can play around with friends no matter the weather. Enjoy mouth-watering food and a wide variety of handcrafted mixed drinks. With our attached parking deck, access is always hassle-free. Make your next night out unforgettable at Bunkers.
Get ready to rev up your fall with Adams Motorsports in Montgomery. This season, experience the thrill of the open road like never before. From sleek motorcycles to powerful ATVs to versatile side-by-sides, we've got everything you need to fuel your passion for adventure. Whether Polaris, Suzuki, or Kawasaki, Adams sells and services the best. Go to where the journey begins. Visit us today or online for more information. From East Alabama's first family of power sports, Adams Motorsports of Montgomery.
We're hammering down high prices at Glenn Smith GMC in Opelika. New full-size GMC Sierras discounted up to $12,000 off. GMC Terrains with a roomy cabin and pro safety discounted up to $7,250 off. Enjoy the holidays with no payments until springtime. Choose from 600 new and used vehicles on the lot or on the way. GlennSmith.com. Get ready to smile.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Auburn Blitz here. 45 minutes left in the show today. Make sure you get your calls in throughout the program. Get your comments in. We'll go to the Eric McKinley Mortgage Pro hotline. Welcome in our good friend Wade Bennett with Sense of Green. And Wade, just a tad bit under the weather, but fighting through, man, just like a trooper, just like we knew you would, Wade. You're not going to let a little cold get you down, brother.
Oh, no, it can't keep me down. I'm like Auburn. For some reason, I always come back and get your hopes up. But I'm going to deliver today.
I was going to say, now, if you're comparing yourself to Auburn, I'm getting ready to be let down. All right,
There's no Java here, especially when you call Sense of Green for air that's cool and clean.
Hi.
Save some green. Call Sense of Green up to $2,000 off any new Infinity carrier system. Can you feel it?
I can feel that. Anytime you can save $2,000, that's a win for sure. Wade, let's dive in. You know, we talk about this. It seems like all the time about how everybody's getting exhausted from the wear and tear of the NIL and the portal world. Jim Larinaga is the latest victim of that in Miami, a guy that took Miami to Final Four in 2023, and now here he sits walking out the door saying that he just can't keep up anymore. You know, doesn't feel like he can do the things he needs to do to put a good product on the floor and to do all the other things that need to be done by a head coach to have a winning program.
Massive turnover is occurring in all college athletics, especially at the coaching level, from a new generation pushing an old generation out, whether it be change, in the exhaustion of having to completely revamp what you do because of the portal and NIL. But you'll notice it and you'll see it and continue to see it in college football, especially young guys who used to have to be an assistant to a mentor, historic figure coach for years until they got any kind of shot, and then have to work their way up through smaller jobs like Pat Dye did at East Carolina and Wyoming, finally landing at Auburn after being with Coach Bryant for 10 years. I mean, the days of a 45-year-old assistant finally getting a big-time job are over. College football, college athletics is going young, and this is just another symptom of that, of what's happening.
You know, Wade, it makes the Charles Kelly move to Jacksonville State a little bit odd. A lot of us have talked about that. Been in the coaching arena for a long time, been in a lot of big programs, and then deciding to step away and go try out being a head football coach. Now, he went to Jacksonville State. He's got ties there, been there before. Just your thoughts on that move, and it was a little bit odd last week.
It's almost like these smaller schools, like Jacksonville State, are getting more experienced head coaches, and the larger schools are going to a more less experienced, like Kenny Dillingham type coach, right? You just have to be, Jacksonville State doesn't have to compete against Alabama, Georgia, LSU, Tennessee, Clemson every single year, right? I mean, they win a division, they win a conference occasionally, they go to a bowl game. You've got long-term longevity. Rich Rod could have stayed there forever. Okay, so but these bigger programs are demanding instantaneous results, especially with the expansion of the college football playoff. And if you can't roll with the younger generation and what they do and how they do it, man, you may not be a head football coach or on any coaching staff at a bigger program for very long.
Got Wade Bennett with us here on the program. Wade, I think it's a matter of the amount of duties being pushed off on the head football coach and, the new positions that have been created in college football, like a GM position. Auburn's got a really, really good director of football operations, and Will Redmond's probably one of the best in the entire country, came from LSU. But, we said that on the podcast this morning. Randy and I talked about it for a while. What is expected of these coaches now? Because you've heard Hugh Freeze talk about it. You've heard Kirby Smart talk about it. You heard Nick Saban talk about it on the way out last year, saying that, I'm trying to prepare for a semifinal football game, and everybody else is worried if we're going to get this guy out of the portal or is our recruiting class where it needs to be. It's kind of like we're missing the whole boat. The end product is to win championships on the field, but all this stuff that's going on throughout the year that you're having to manage may be taken away from the product on the field, which is kind of an oxymoron.
Yeah, I'm with you. I think the very first fix that has to happen in college football especially is the calendar. Okay? It's going to be very difficult to rein in NIL and the transfer portal now because it's been made almost into like a human right thing by players. You can't tell me I have to stay here for 2 years. You're violating my constitutional rights. So they'll have to figure that one out later. But the easy fix for the NCAA is to sit down and figure out the calendar. It's their rules. You don't have to get an act from Congress to change the rules of the calendar, right? And so that's where I would start. And it's difficult on these coaches, especially the ones that are going deep into the playoffs. They're having to manage their roster, get ready for the playoffs, recruit, and try and get NIL and try and get people back out of the portal that jumped in or trying to get portal folks for the spring that are jumping in. And you said it, it's watered down the game itself because what it's done completely is made almost all of these other bowl games absolutely 100% finally irrelevant. Does anybody really truly care that Alabama's playing in the ReliaQuest Bowl against Michigan other than those fan bases? And half of those fan bases probably don't care.
Oh, I was going to say, I don't think they really care either. It's kind of odd to say two historic programs like that are going to play each other in a rematch of a semifinal game last year. Nobody's really even talking about it, Wade. So, Wade, we're up against the break, brother. We really appreciate it. Get better, man. Get to feeling better, and we'll catch up with you this week, okay?
Yeah, everybody have a happy new year. Looking forward to an exciting 2025. I know as a rep from Sensa Green that we're thrilled to be partnering with you guys. A lot of exciting things coming, and partner up with Randy and Brett and the team over there. I promise you it's been beneficial to us at Sensa Green, and we appreciate the support, guys.
Thanks so much, Wade. Have a good day, okay, buddy?
Yep, y'all have a good one.
All right, we'll take another break. Stay tuned. More to come right after this.
For air that's cool and clean, call Sensa Green. For air that's cool and clean, we care about the air you breathe. Call Sensa Green.
Turn to the experts at Sensagreen and find out how to get up to $1,000 in carry or cool cash rebates. Visit Sensagreen.com today to be worry-free when it comes to your home comfort and indoor air quality.
For air that's cool and clean, care about the air you breathe. Call Sensagreen.
This is Kathy Holmes with Pepper Tree Steaks and Wine. Jeff Verner and I opened in East Montgomery 25 years ago and have become the premier butcher shop, wine retailer, and caterer in the River region. We are excited to invite you to our newest location at 2459 East Glen Avenue in Auburn, Opelika. We want to become your one-stop shop for the freshest cuts of meat in town, grab-and-go casseroles, gift items, and the best wine selection in the area. Think of us when catering your next event. Check us out online at steaksandwine.com for daily lunch specials and details on upcoming wine tastings and fun events.
Presley Appliance and Furniture, located on Cherokee Road in Alexander City, is locally owned and operated with over 35 years of experience in the appliance and furniture business. Specializing in Amana, Whirlpool, KitchenAid, and Ashley Furniture, Presley Appliance services what they sell and will make sure you receive top-notch customer service. Call them today at 256-329-9762 or drop by to see them on Cherokee Road in Alexander City. Presley Appliance and Furniture, where they service what they sell.
Russell Do-It Center and Building Supply is your headquarters for all the brands contractors know best. We are your local home improvement store with 9 convenient locations throughout central Alabama. We have a huge selection of Weber and Traeger, Pelican coolers, Milwaukee and DeWalt tools, and other top brands. No matter the project, we have you covered with our high-quality lumber and building supplies. From do-it-yourselfers to seasoned pros, Russell Do-It Center and Building Supply has what you need to get the job done.
There's only one option for top-of-the-line aftermarket upgrades on your vehicle, and that's Frontline Outfitters. We offer quality parts, lift kits, custom wheels and tires, bed covers, step bars, and toolboxes that are installed by trained and skilled professionals, to custom powder coating with hundreds of colors and finishes, to the highest quality film for window tinting using state-of-the-art film cutting technology. Call Frontline Outfitters at 256-409-8100. Don't be in the back of the line. Put your vehicle at the front with Frontline Outfitters.
The results are in, and Game Day Men's Health in Auburn has delivered. The certified medical team at Game Day Men's Health wants to help you feel better. Text 334-209-3706 to set up your free testosterone check and consult. Results back in as little as 15 minutes. Tired of feeling tired? Text 334-209-3706 to Game Day Men's Health in Auburn. They make you feel better.
Looking for the perfect spot to unwind? Welcome to Bunkers. Our friendly staff and vibrant atmosphere make Bunkers the ultimate hangout space for all ages. With 6 state-of-the-art golf simulator stations, you can play around with friends no matter the weather. Enjoy mouth-watering food and a wide variety of handcrafted mixed drinks. With our attached parking deck, access is always hassle-free. Make your next night out unforgettable at Bunkers.
J.A. Smith Construction, licensed general contractor and your trusted choice for land clearing and grading, site work, underground utilities, concrete paving, and material hauling. They also do storm drain installations, fish ponds, and slough dredging. Call Alexander at 256-896-1400 or email asmith@jasmithconstruct.com. No job is too big or too small for J.A. Smith Construction, the top choice for all of your land service needs.
Chick-fil-A is always the best option when you're on the go, but they are also great when it comes to planning your next event, from tailgating to birthday parties to weddings. Call Chick-fil-A Alexander City at 256-289-7955 for catering, or order on the Chick-fil-A app. Make sure to choose the Alexander City location and have your catering order ready to go. Nugget trays, mac and cheese trays, fruit trays, cookie trays, gallons of our famous lemonade or tea, and chilled grilled chicken sub sandwiches, and a lot more options. Make it Chick-fil-A Alexander City for your next event. Welcome back, everyone, to the Auburn Blitz. About halfway through our program. Again, brought to you by Russell Do-It Center and Building Supply Stores, J.A. Smith Construction and Excavation in Sensa Green. Just wanted to dig in and find you guys some information since we brought it up on the show. junior college football has been around in Mississippi since the 20s. They say at least by 1927. So looking at old records and things like that. So it's been around for a long, long time, over 100 years in the state of Mississippi. And no JUCO football here in the state of Alabama. And as I read off to you, there's 512 junior colleges that are members of the NJCAA and only 53 JUCO football teams in this country. And there's only a select few states that participate: New York, Illinois, Mississippi, Kansas, just a few of those. And then California has its own league. They're not members of the NJCAA, so they have their own basically junior college league in the state of California, and they have two regions, two divisions out there, and then they compete that way. So that's a little historical information about JUCO football here in the United States. But as you can tell, really, Mississippi's the only southeast state that participates in JUCO football.
I figured that. The only ones that I knew of any of us or anyone around our age group getting any offers to was to Kansas and Mississippi. So there's your answer right there. And, it still doesn't answer the question of what's going to happen as the average age of a college football player goes to, say, year 4 or 5. Because you're going to have some guys that are 6, 7, 8-year guys when they play a couple of years of JUCO ball, and then down to that first-year guy. So, the things have changed so much that they've got to reel this thing back in. But
well, what if we talked about this before? What if the money games for Jack State, and even, if you want to throw in Troy or whoever, because look, man, I'm again, this is no cut on Troy. But did you see any of their game, the stands? I saw videos from people that we know.
Terrible attendance.
Terrible ain't even close. I didn't even see anybody there, like right before kickoff. The only thing I saw coming in the stadium was the band, the marching band. I'm not being funny. I know. It's just like, I'm like, man, this is, and Troy takes a lot of pride in their program. They got a good program. And man, to look down and see if they don't get those games where teams pay them $1 million to come play, and this was brought up several years ago on our program. We've been talking about this. You're talking about opportunities for kids. You're right. Not only does it eliminate opportunities for kids, but if these colleges can't get funding, supplemental funding from these bigger colleges, they're going to have to look at maybe not having a program themselves. So that's going to be even less opportunities for people to play at the next level.
Well, and the problem is I think that all of these situations are coming up and being discussed, but I don't hear any answers coming out on any of them. I mean,
who's going to give the answer?
And let's just totally forget about women's athletics.
Well, that is not even being that again, this is not our opinion on the program, okay? We're just stating the obvious. That's like so far into the corner. I mean, that's not even being discussed. I mean, it's like laws are being just thrown to the wolves, and regulations that have been set forth a long time that a lot of people –
Title IX.
Yeah, that people fought for. And I don't know. I don't have any answers for them.
I don't either. It's just the Wild Wild West, and I don't see it being corralled, to say the least. And until a true leader stands up that has the backing of the federal government with some laws that are in place, then we're not going to get this. It's only going to get worse.
It's the only solution I can come up with, because when the NCAA tries to make a ruling on something, I know they've screwed up 1,000,000 times.
Yeah, but they have nothing to stand on.
But when they try to make a ruling, it gets cut down.
I agree.
So I don't know what else you can do. And again, I thought James brought something up that, woke us up a little bit. Charlie Baker, it may be weak as water. I don't think he's a strong leader, but I don't know what he can do. If every time they make a ruling, the athlete takes it to court and they win the lawsuit against the NCAA.
I.e. Diego Pavia, which is the reason we're discussing this morning.
That's exactly why we're discussing it. I don't see any solutions making any of this better. I don't see anything's coming out of courts or rulings that are making the situation in intercollegiate athletics better.
And Brett said it earlier. He's against it, but it is going to benefit all of our schools in the short term and maybe in the long term. But just this year, it could benefit Auburn basketball with Denver Jones and Chad Baker-Mazara getting another year.
Correct.
All based off of the Diego Pavia ruling that came down.
And Xavion Miller could come back in football. That would be another addition back to the offensive line. He's played for 2 years at Auburn. He could come back again and play if Auburn chooses to go that route. I mean, right, there's going to be times that it benefits you, but I think overall, the big picture, it's not good for the sport. It's not good for any of these sports. And again, I'm not sitting there going, man, this kid that maybe had a couple hardships or whatever and, is able to fight through it and be able to play. I'm not saying throw these guys to the wolves, but at some point in time, you can't just let people stay in college 9 years and play sports because you had a COVID year and then you get a red shirt year and then you get 4 years of eligibility and then they played 2 in JUCO. I mean, he's 29 years old. We thought Chris Winkie was old when he quarterbacked Florida State. Now, he looked like a whippersnapper at 24 or 5 years old playing for Florida State now. So, I want a solution, but we all talk about everybody getting their fair share. Well, there's only so much to go around. And, again, these athletic departments, Greg Burns said it on a show with Gary Harris, a good friend of ours. He said, man, I don't look out my office window here and see a money tree. I can go out there and pick. And there's things that are being done at these prestigious, top-of-the-line universities that have never been done before, like cutting out meals at media, in the media room. I mean, when you start doing that, dude,
yeah.
I mean, you've hit a level that I didn't think any of us could see. But going back to women's athletics for the break real quick, Randy, all this money, you're talking about programs going away. If somebody doesn't step up, if something's not there to fund it, they're not going to go out there and play for free. They're not going to go. These coaches aren't going to coach for free. They got to have a job.
And how can one, if paid through the university, get more than the other?
I don't know.
How does that hold up?
Somebody above us needs to come up with those answers. All right, up against the break. Stay tuned. More to come here on the Auburn Blitz.
This is Joseph Dean with Frederick Dean Funeral Home and Crematory. I am pleased to announce that Lake Martin Funeral Home and Cremation is now open to serve the public at our location on the corner of 49 North and 280 West in Dadeville. Please stop by and see lifelong resident of Dadeville, Molly Kaler, who will be running the office and meeting with families who want to plan ahead and pre-need their services. We are also available by phone 256-750-0381 or online at lakemartinfuneralhome.com.
Bugs Island is your boating headquarters. Are you ready to hit the water and go boating this summer? Bugs Island has all kinds of boats, with one sure to fit exactly what you want. Fishing boats, sport boats, pontoon boats, and all with low monthly payments. Call 1-800-I'm-READY. Bugs Island Service Department experts are also here for you to keep your boat in top running condition. Call 1-800-I'm-READY. Don't be left standing on the bank this summer. Visit online at bugsisland.com and don't buy a boat till you get a Bucks quote.
Looking to transform your outdoor space? Look no further than Bama Sheds. As a family-owned and operated business, we understand your needs. That's why we offer no credit check, rent-to-own options. Enjoy free delivery and setup within 35 miles of our 4 convenient locations. Whether you need a shed, pole barn, garage, or carport, we've got you covered. Visit our website at bamasheds.com or call 256-268-8484. Bama Sheds, where quality meets affordability and your outdoor dreams become reality.
What's the verdict?
Can't fix your heat pump. Need a new one.
Uh-oh. What are you thinking?
I'm thinking Daikin.
Call on Kevin Kill in Sunshine Heating and Air at 256-825-4849, Central Alabama's premier Daikin dealer.
So what's he thinking?
Oh, he's thinking Daikin.
Daikin, one of the top selling in the world.
Now I'm thinking Daikin.
Daikin. Comfort for life. EnviroCare is the standard in East Central Alabama for all your pest control and termite needs. EnviroCare exclusively offers Centricon termite colony elimination system that is the industry's most effective termite control to protect your home year-round. The EnviroCare team's service is also the standard for our customers. From eliminating home pests to superior termite control, nobody cares like EnviroCare, serving Lake Martin and East Central Alabama.
Grain and Leaf, located at 6068 Highway 63 South, is Lake Martin's premier boutique-style bottle shop with a unique array of sophistication for everyone. Appropriately named for its exclusive selection of top spirits, wine, and craft beer, Grain and Leaf also has a number of fine cigars for you to choose from. They also carry the full line of Hornsby Farms assorted jellies and pottery. Open 10 to 7 Monday through Saturday and noon to 5 on Sundays, Grain and Leaf is your premier shop in the Lake Martin area. Go ahead and mark your calendars, sports fans. The Alabama State games are returning to the Magic City of Birmingham, Jefferson County, and surrounding communities June 13th through the 15th, 2025. We're talking about 20-plus sports open to athletes of all ages and abilities. The 42nd Alabama State games will be something to behold. Mark your calendars now and be ready to go when registration opens. Visit allagames.com and follow us on Facebook and Instagram for more exciting announcements.
When you want quality, selection, price, superior financing, and a pain-free buying experience, look no further than Sons Automotive Group of Montgomery and Auburn. Sons of Montgomery offers the best selection of Kias, Chryslers, Dodges, Jeeps, and Ram trucks. Conveniently located on Eastern Boulevard, Sons Ford of Auburn is the region's Ford volume dealer. And when you shop at any Sons location, they will maximize all incentives and financing options for anyone's credit. Whether Kia, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, or Ram in Montgomery, or Ford in Auburn, Sons Automotive treats you like family because they are family driven.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Auburn Blitz. A couple segments left on today's show. Let's go back to the Aaron McKinley Mortgage Pro Hotline. Welcome in our good friend, Jason Caldwell. Jason, hope you had a great Christmas, buddy.
Yep, guys. How about y'all?
Now back to the rat race, right? It never stops. And,
it does. Somebody asked me when the portal ends. I was like, it never ends. It just doesn't end. I mean, now you got teams that have, I think, 5 days after a bowl game for guys to go in the portal. So, you're still talking about another 2.5 weeks potentially of where guys can go in the portal. And you might not lose anybody else here after, I think it's tomorrow. It officially ends for a team like Auburn. But, heck, you can still add guys all the way up until probably the middle of January. And so, it's a never-ending process now.
You look at the state of college football, college athletics. We've been talking about this forever with everybody. And then you look at these bowl games. 4 SEC teams playing today. Oklahoma's playing right now against Navy. Does anybody even care? Alabama and Michigan are in a rematch of last year's semifinal game. I don't think anybody really cares about that game. It just did not take long for all of this to seem like the roof is falling in on this sport until somebody gets something changed, Jason.
Yeah, I think I remember being, like I said, I think we talked about it last year. I remember being on the sidelines middle of the first quarter in Nashville a year ago and thinking, why am I even here? And here's the way, I'll watch them 100%. I would rather watch that 1,000 times over on TV today than anything else that anybody could show me. But spending money and going to games and traveling and doing that stuff, there'll be some people that'll be excited, that haven't done it in a while, or at Illinois. I bet they'll have a bunch of people down in Florida for their bowl game. For most people, it's just another football game, and I'll watch it. But yeah, the pageantry of the bowl games is gone. I saw people roasting Chris Kleiman today for his comment last night, going, people think this is a 9-3 season and or a 9-win season, and it's a disappointment. He said, I don't want to be involved. And hey, that's where we are, because the playoffs, 9 wins in a season, that's not going to be good enough. And I remember, people think back fondly to the Pat Dye years, and rightfully so. Nowadays, those seasons will be considered disappointments, even winning the SEC championship. And that's where we are.
Jim Larinaga stepped down at Miami. You know, he's just another one of these coaches that said, look, he didn't think he can get it done anymore in this new era. I think you're going to continue to see this, Jason, not just with older coaches, but with a lot of coaches that feel like they can go somewhere else and not have to deal with this rat race that a lot of these big-time programs are having to deal with right now. I mean, we even talked about Ryan Day going into the playoffs. Everybody said, look, if he happened to lose Tennessee, there's a lot of people that wanted him fired from Ohio State, and he got his team in the playoffs. I mean, I don't know what the answer is to any of this.
Well, I think, and Jim Larinaga is 75 years old. He's earned the right to do what he wants to do. That's also a guy who rode the coattails of a portal, everybody on his entire roster, to a Final Four a couple years ago.
Right.
Now they're 4-8, and all that money is going to Miami football. They're not very good. And you go, well, I don't like this anymore. Well, you liked it a couple years ago. And so, and that's part of this. It's changed. I mean, like I said, Nick Saban, the guy deserved to go out and do what he wanted to do. But all of a sudden, you're not getting every great player. And so now it's changed. And so, yeah, I don't like it. But I think some of that is, I'm not going to dominate the sport like I used to, so I'm leaving. I think that's some of that too. And so, but it's not for the better. But you know, you sign up for it or you don't. And he knew the situation before this season ever started. And now that they're 4-8, you go, I don't want to do this anymore. Okay, well, that's your choice.
Yeah, I think it's more for me about the bigger picture, though, Jason. I think, yeah, you're right. I think some of those guys, you can definitely look at that and say, I don't have the advantages I maybe did at one point in time, but and now with where they are at their age, they can step aside because they've had a big, long career. It's the moving forward for the younger coaches and the things that they're having to deal with.
I think on the field, on the court, I think it has made for better parity in the sport, but I don't think it has made the sport better. I think those two things can both be true. I think there's more parity now in college football and college athletics than there's ever been, but I don't think that makes it a better sport.
It's a good point. I definitely can see both sides of that coin. Jason, before we let you go, let's talk about Auburn basketball. They got Monmouth coming up on Monday, and then they open up SEC play next Saturday against Missouri. I know you just left being with Coach Pearl. Kind of talk about this basketball team. What do they got to do to get to number one, man?
Yeah, I think they'd be fine if that didn't happen for a while. You just keep that chip on your shoulder, and it's what it is. Half the people that vote in these things don't even pay attention, don't watch college basketball. They just look at somebody's record and go, well, that team's undefeated. Well, they're number one. And hey, it's worked that way forever. You know, people that vote in these things a lot of times don't pay attention, and so that's part of the poll itself. But, you know, it's funny, though. We just talked about all these things going on. This Auburn basketball team that, you know how many guys that are on this roster that were recruited here and have been here their entire careers? Dylan Cardwell.
I was going to say two.
And the two freshmen. That's it.
Two. Yeah.
Everybody else is a transfer. So for all the things that we just talked about, it's one of the things that has made this Auburn basketball team pretty good because of the guys they've been able to bring in as transfers. So it gives and it takes, and you enjoy it. But it's no different for Auburn basketball than it is for any other things we've been talking about.
Right. You know, you adapt with the times and you adapt with change. And I guess the big question, and we don't have enough time to dive into it, maybe next week, Jason, you know, some of the things that could be changed that could help with this, like maybe only one portal window instead of two portal windows and different things that maybe could be brought up that could change the whole landscape of this thing, maybe start reeling it in a little bit.
Correct. I think at some point, and I know we don't have a whole lot of time, but at some point, you're going to have to go, hey, at a minimum, you got to give somebody a couple of years. You got to be able to count on somebody being there for a couple of years to start to have at least an idea of what a roster is going to look like from year to year. Right now, that's not the case, and it makes it almost an impossibility.
Good stuff, Jason. Hey, man, we really appreciate it, buddy. Again, hope you have a great rest of the weekend, and we'll talk to you next week, okay?
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
Thanks so much. Jason Caldwell with Auburn Undercover. We're going to go ahead and take our final break of the show. Stay tuned. One final segment right after this.
J.A. Smith Construction, licensed general contractor and your trusted choice for land clearing and grading, site work, underground utilities, concrete paving, and material hauling. They also do storm drain installations, fish ponds, and slough dredging. Call Alexander at 256-896-1400 or email asmith@jasmithconstruct.com. No job is too big or too small for J.A. Smith Construction, the top choice for all of your land service needs.
For air that's cool and clean, call Senza Green. For air that's cool and clean, care about the air you breathe, call Senza Green.
Turn to the experts at Sensagreen and find out how to get up to $1,000 in carrier cool cash rebates. Visit Sensagreen.com today to be worry-free when it comes to your home comfort and indoor air quality.
For air that's cool and clean, care about the air you breathe, call Senza Green.
Sign Source is your local vendor for commercial and residential sign manufacturing and installation. We offer all kinds of lighted and non-lighted signage, from retail signs, LED message centers, event banners, vehicle wraps, the whole spectrum. We also offer service and repair on existing signs, as well as retrofitting to LED or installation of outsourced signage. We have the knowledge necessary to fulfill all of your signage needs in the short or long term. Visit signsourcenow.com to get started.
EnviroCare is the standard in East Central Alabama for all your pest control and termite needs. EnviroCare exclusively offers Centricon termite colony elimination system that is the industry's most effective termite control to protect your home year-round. The EnviroCare team's service is also the standard for our customers. From eliminating home pests to superior termite control, nobody cares like EnviroCare, serving Lake Martin and East Central Alabama. Folks around these parts have known for a long time that Walls Tire, just a mile past the bridge on Highway 280, is your #1 stop for automotive service and repair. At Walls Tire, you'll always find quality service at a fair price on everything from AC, name brand tires, big or small repairs, routine maintenance, towing, and more. When your car or truck needs to run right, there's one place in the area to go, conveniently located and easy to find. Walls Tire, just a mile past the bridge on Highway 280.
Grain and Leaf, located at 6068 Highway 63 South, is Lake Martin's premier boutique-style bottle shop with a unique array of sophistication for everyone. Appropriately named for its exclusive selection of top spirits, wine, and craft beer, Grain and Leaf also has a number of fine cigars for you to choose from. They also carry the full line of Hornsby Farms assorted jellies and pottery. Open 10 to 7 Monday through Saturday and noon to 5 on Sundays, Grain and Leaf is your premier shop in the Lake Martin area.
Passion, the obsession that burns within. Determination, the burning desire to make it. Drive, the motivation to be the absolute best. Skills, the tools to perform at the highest level. Excellence, the feeling of achievement. At Central Alabama Community College, you can release your passion, show your determination, display your drive, and showcase your skills to achieve excellence. Central Alabama Community College, central to you, central to your success.
Go ahead and mark your calendars, sports fans. The Alabama State Games are returning to the Magic City of Birmingham, Jefferson County, and surrounding communities June 13th through the 15th, 2025. We're talking about 20-plus sports open to athletes of all ages and abilities. The 42nd Alabama State Games will be something to behold. Mark your calendars now and be ready to go when registration opens. Visit alagames.com and follow us on Facebook and Instagram for more exciting announcements. Welcome back, everyone, to the Auburn Blitz final segment here on the program. Hey, I want to give a shout-out to Pepper Tree Steaks and Wine. They catered our one of our Christmas gatherings this week, and, man, was it outstanding. Again, for that gathering, we had the ribs and had potato salad, the baked beans. Man, just the macaroni and cheese. Everything there is phenomenal, man.
I haven't had anything bad there. And two great locations. The one over in Montgomery is always packed, and the new location on East Glen and Auburn's just a thriving part of town that has a lot of traffic by, so I know they're really successful over there. Just like Wade said earlier, we're growing in our content and reach that we're having out there. We're trying to get, we've always been a TV and radio program, and I know that we're up against maybe one of our last shows of this year. And that's going to always be really important to us because a lot of the people that we have tuning into our programming has been with Brett, myself, and all of our crew for 20-plus years now. And we can't thank all of you enough, but we know that we've been slightly behind the times on extending out into some social media outlets that we should be doing. Right. But we've embraced most of those during this year with Brett getting out of school and being able to retire. And there's a lot of you looking for ways that you can get your message out there and your branding out there. And we hope you'll partner with us. So we're going to have a new location over in Auburn soon. Could be up to 2 new locations over in Auburn soon with the merger of another business that we're working on the sign side in the Auburn market. So if you're over in that area, and we've partnered with a lot of you over the years, not only on our brand that we have here, but some other brands that Brett and I have been involved in over the years. If you're looking to get the word out, we'd love to talk to you in 2025. Give Brett a call. We'll meet with you. We'll have a location for you to come and meet with us, I'm guessing, in the next 30 days or so.
Absolutely. And have had a couple calls over the last several days from some of you businesses out there. And, again, we appreciate that. We know that the product is getting out there and people are seeing it and listening to it. And, look, I know there's a lot of podcasts to choose from, but we're gaining a lot of traction, and we do things a little different with ours. We try to be as cut and dried as we can. As real as we can. We love Auburn here. So sometimes it's just like your parents when you're getting raised. It's because you got your rear end worn out. Doesn't mean your parents hate you. They're trying to do the right thing by you, right? They're trying to get you straight. And so when we're a little hard on our team and our program, it's because we love them and we care about it, and we want to see Auburn be the best it possibly can. I don't think you can get anywhere by getting on here when you know something smells like crap and you sugarcoat it and you try to make it out to be something it's not. So we've gotten a lot of people and a lot of feedback from people, Randy, that said they appreciate us for kind of sticking our neck out there and calling stuff for what it is and being real about it.
Most of it's positive. Some of it's negative feedback. I'm all for both. I'm of the age now, it really doesn't matter one way or another. We've been doing this a long time. I've got a lot of confidence in what we do. Brett and I used to look, I'll say this, 20 years ago when we used to do broadcasts on the statewide network for the Alabama High School Athletic Association, we'd get off air and I'd go read comments and see what people think about the way that we broadcasted games. Nobody cares. Talked. And I couldn't tell you the last time that I looked at anything like that, nor would I ever dream of looking at that, nor caring if someone said something. And maybe that's a good thing.
It's got to be a good thing.
But it is.
Can't worry about every single thing.
But I'll say that, the comments that we get out there drive our programming. And they can be negative comments towards stuff that we say. But we try to lead our conversations on our show toward what you, the fans, want to talk about. And if what you, the fans, want to talk about negative because we've had 4 consecutive losing seasons in football, by all means, we're going to talk about it. We're not going to hide from it. The next check I get from the university for doing broadcasting will be the first. I bet that's going to stay the same with the way that we handle some of our program. That's perfectly fine.
Well, at the end of the day, I think you lose credibility, and people are smart enough to know that when you get up here and we tried to make everything rosy after we've lost for 4 consecutive seasons. First of all, I can't hide the fact that I want to throw up every time I say that. So I couldn't do it, first of all. But if you do get out here and you pump sunshine, I think people say, those guys are so orange and blue glasses. They're so over the top with their love for their team that they can't even see the imperfection. So that's not what we do. We love Auburn. We want Auburn to be number one in every sport. We love it, and boy, we give praise when there's obviously basketball can't get any more praise. But football, we're pulling so hard for them to get back to where we grew up and to enjoy every single year Auburn being in the hunt. Didn't have to win.
At least thinking you are.
Right.
We're 80s kids.
Absolutely.
From 83 to 89. I went into every single season thinking we were going to win a national championship.
I think I cried like if we lost a game. I mean, we only lost 2 or 3 games a year. So when we lost a game, man, it was upsetting.
Because the ones that you lost were so close.
Right.
And were heartbreakers. And that's how close we were for a long stretch. And hopefully we can get back there. But it's been It's been a grueling 15 years with a couple of up years to go along with what we've seen lately.
Well, hopefully 2025 is a bright and shining star for Auburn football. We hope it will be. Hope it will be for all of you out there. Again, I hope all of you had a great Christmas. We'll be with you next week for more Auburn Blitz programming. For Randy Lee, I'm Brett Pritchard saying we've enjoyed it. We hope you have. See you next time.